The ether. I'm getting ready, man. I haven't shaved my head in like a couple days, so I'm like I'm like still in the bald patch just before I clean it up for the trip.
I can't believe it's a week away now. I'm like, oh,
There.
shit.
Wait, let me see. Can I flip my camera? Yeah. So I'm literally about to go through this box while we're live streaming and just pull out some more trade stuff. It's kind of like
Yeah,
a little bit.
that's smart, man.
Stay on top.
I have to make like a few different buy list like chunks for certain things and certain amounts. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's the thing I'm trying to decide if I want to do is do I want to bring like I did in the past and go bulky, but then I get stuck waiting at the table for an hour. The guys take forever to look through your stuff, or do I want to do what you were kind of saying and just like take a couple small things and then attack it like that? You know?
They don't give you enough if it's bulky at
No,
the show.
no,
If you got bulky stuff, you're better off doing that at like Card King at home on your computer.
yeah, I agree.
Yo, what's up, Paul and Shadow Cloud? How you doing?
I think that was my problem the past two times too. Was I feel like I got stuck there and I kind of missed out for like a couple hours to what was going on too.
2 hours you're sitting
Yeah.
there while they're freaking nickeling and diving you at every freaking card. You know, like
And you kind of have to attack it early though, because you want to be like, because you know the vendors want certain cards early, and if they're not moving them after they get them, then they're not going to take as much from you. So you kind of have to attack quickly, but at the same time, you don't want to waste your time sitting there too. So
and you want to make sure you're getting what you want. So it's like it's a whole mess, man.
absolutely, but
I
yeah,
think I
no,
want to try
seriously,
and
it's
get a confetti Ristic, man.
confetti-ristic.
Yeah.
That's your target. I mean, that's a pretty good one. I mean, are you going to be picky though? Like, are you going to look at it for grading purposes specifically? Like,
Oh yeah. If it's not gradable, I'm not getting it.
yeah,
You
like
know,
if
I want to try and complete the set at a high grade.
yeah, absolutely. I'm going to target Sauron. That's the last foil poster I need from Lord of the Rings. So it just keeps going up. I was gonna buy it like what 6 months ago when it was a $70-80, and I didn't, and now it's double that price, if not more. So
All those posters, man. I mean, I understand the like number to 100 getting as crazy as they did, but damn, the other ones, it's
right.
pretty ridiculous.
I mean, is
Hey,
there going to be?
Brody,
Let's see who's here. What's up, Brody? How you doing, buddy?
Brody, we expect to see you in Atlanta next year.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I have some friends in Atlanta too, so depending on when everyone's going, might be able to set us up with a pretty good situation there. Maybe like free lodging. Who knows? Could be
No
nice.
doubt. They have a sick aquarium down there. I tripped in that aquarium once. It was quite the freaking experience, man.
I've been to that
Freaking whale
aquarium actually.
sharks and shit, yo.
Didn't trip there, but been there.
Brody. Hey, that was a crazy time, man.
Oh, I love it.
Brody, I appreciate that. What is this? Spur of the moment? Indeed it is, Stefan.
It's
Indeed it is.
it's getting the hype on, Stefan. We gotta be ready.
Yeah, man. I don't even know. Like I'm all like, oh my god, I gotta do things. I'm
So much
thinking
to do.
about a box break before it, like
Yeah, you should talk
that
about that right now. See if
so that
anyone.
weatherlight box. Okay.
Mhm.
I got a weatherlight box.
Uh-oh, he cut out. He cut out, boys and girls.
I cut out.
Yeah,
You
you
can't hear me?
you said I got a weatherlight box, and then you froze after that, and now you're back. That's all we got from you.
And so Card Kingdom charges $50 a pack.
Yeah.
I'd charge probably 45 ish, right?
Hmm.
But then I'd have say for the you hit the null rod, there will be like a prize. I'm not sure whether it'll be a card or a pack. And same thing for like the number 2 and 3 hits, Lotus,
Yeah.
Veil, and Scorched Ruin. So it's like a bounty thing, but with Weatherlight packs. Because if I don't do something with this Weatherlight box now, I'm just gonna trade it in Vegas for other
And
things.
You
So
might
I
get
don't know.
frustrated with what they offer you too, because they might go, "Oh, we haven't moved
Mm.
much of it right now either." So it just depends. I mean, did you read what Feldy wrote to you? Did that interest you?
Yeah, it's kind of like along the same idea though, like I just don't know how much interest though we'd have in a Weatherlight box.
Maybe.
So
Do you have an Alliance box still, or is it just Weatherlight?
I do. I have an Alliances box as well, but that's even more packs to sell out.
Mm-hmm.
It's 45. So, and then what would the bounty be and Alliances? Force of Will. There's 7 of them there.
True. True. I mean, I get.
Like,
Yeah.
so like, yeah. I mean, I could figure something out, but like, I was figuring the Weatherlight one because that's the one that I will just trade in Vegas if no one is interesting. Yeah,
Well,
true. Lake of the Dead. You're right, Paul.
what's your low? What's your
What
low?
do you
Like, what was the for vendors? What was the lowest you'd take from them then?
I
Like,
mean,
what's
I
your target?
traded for stuff like
Because if you trade for specific stuff, yeah, it's different. It's much better.
yeah. I'd be looking
Cash wouldn't
for
be
like,
worth it. Yeah.
I'd be looking for other boxes. Like I know I want Invasion starter brick
Oh,
to
you
break
want? Okay, that'd be fun. Yeah.
because these starters and tournament packs are freaking the foil mine. That's where you get the foils. You know
Mm,
what I mean?
absolutely.
That's just what it is. We proved this for a fact on the channel. Through multiple Mercadian Masks box, and you see other Mercadian Masks boxes being ripped, and they get half the foils. It's just true. It's true,
It's
man. They
true.
get
It
6,
is.
we
Yeah.
get 12.
It is
Crazy,
true.
man.
I think I'm gonna try to throw together a standard deck for there and play one of the days.
Oh, really?
I think so. Now that Adam sadly isn't coming, pre-modern kind of
No.
is kind of weird now, right? Like I was almost
I
done
want
with
to make
it.
a legacy deck, I think, but like I gotta figure out all the rules and stuff before I start building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I was a little excited to play pre-modern. I basically finished Elf, and then I started looking at if I wanted to do Stasis or if I wanted to do Goblins. Because I figured, like, do I really want to be that jerk that's just in full control, or do I just want to be like a fun themey deck, right, and just bring back the past of what like, we all used to do, with
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
still being competitive though, because red back then was ridiculous. We
You
all know
gotta be
that.
competitive. Yeah.
You
Well,
know
if you're
me.
not being competitive, then what are you doing?
Playing Commander. If I'm not being competitive, I'm playing Commander.
Yeah, yeah,
Look at
yeah,
my
yeah.
huge pile of cards that I have nothing to do with. Let me just throw them in a deck and go.
100 freaking cards. That just seems like, I don't know, to ban any one card. It's such a low percentage to pull. I don't understand.
I love all the memes too, where it's just like, oh, what are we gonna do? And now that we've banned this, and it goes through everything that's like a ramp, and there's so many ramp cards. It's like, what did you really do by taking this card away? Nothing. You've only just
Yeah.
created them to print something new in the future, and then everyone's gonna be afraid of a ban coming again. Like
Well,
it,
all it did was like it changed everything.
all Largoyfs all the time. There we go. Bring back Tarmogoyf. Bring back Tarmogoyf.
Goyf Nation, man. All the Goyfs.
It could be Lotus Field, Stefan. It could be the next ban. It's true. I doubt it.
So, okay, so the ramifications. People speculating that Wizards are going to unban cards. Other ramifications are the tier system, which I actually think is a good thing because now you can unban cards.
Yeah,
It gives you the opportunity to do that.
I agree. I
Which,
think I think the term banning just sounds so heavy, right? Like,
mhm,
especially when now it's becoming their mistake. Like before, it was kind of like, okay, we had power creep over time, and these cards with cards we print in the future. Now it's like, oh, we created this card, and we realized, oh, we printed Nadu. We fucked up. Like you can't do that though. Like you can't print
yeah.
you can't print something and immediately be like, oh, well, we messed up. Like, what's your R&D team even doing? right? Like,
Yeah, I
what's
was
it even doing?
say maybe you should have play tested it first, you know?
Absolutely. I was just like, can you get some better employees in there? Like, hire me right now. I will make sure that doesn't happen.
For real, you know? But
Actually,
I like the idea of a tier 4 where all cards are good. That's good for us old people with reserveless cards that will become unbanned, you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Make
Uh,
foils great again, boys. Absolutely.
yes, indeed. Stefan, I was just tallying up. I literally spent 7 hours today editing a flea market video because of how many hits there are. And my bottom line that I was pricing out was $2.50. No $2, no dollar cards. 250 and above were the only cards I priced, and it took me 7 goddamn hours. Ridiculous. That's coming Tuesday.
Make foils great again.
Yes, the real
Make them
deals.
great again.
Tolarian Academy unbanned, maybe one day.
Maybe
I'm
one
glad I
day.
found one earlier this summer at the flea market. Again, flea market nation. Yeah, 7 hours, Stefan.
You know what?
Jesus
Anybody
Christ.
that gives you any flack and says, "Oh, he goes to the flea markets and fleeces people," this man grinds his butt off and does so much for it, and he goes there a lot and doesn't succeed. You know, it's so annoying when you
There's
see people
plenty of
trolling about that.
unsuccessful
Nobody
ones.
understands that work benefits you and you gain something from the work you put into it,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Like they assume that it just gets handed to you, and you're like, no, it's not how life is.
In
That
this
doesn't happen.
video, literally, it's 2 days at the same flea market, and it takes me an hour and 15 minutes to get there. So that's 5 hours driving alone. And then the 2 days is 6 hours a day. That's another 12 hours. And then I spent 5 days with like 2 to 4 hours sorting. So,
Yeah, for
give me
sure.
that shit. And then I
And then
just spent 7 hours editing. You know,
the editing too.
it
All
was
right.
ridiculous. Hey, look, I still did good, and I'm happy with this one. But Jesus Christ, like, there are times where I don't win, so it's like it balances out.
There you
It's
go. I'll
like
just show it to you one more time, just so you can. Oh, the glare, the
I
glare.
want, I want it.
I'll trade
I,
it to you.
yeah, yeah. What are we trading for that, man?
Oh, the
Gotta
glare
go
makes it so
to the
bad.
to the
We'll figure.
ritual
We'll
freaking
figure something
collection.
out. We'll figure something out. We always
Yeah,
do.
yeah, that's sick, man.
I literally laughed when it got open because I was like, of all things to open,
Of
Ed's gonna be like, "Are
all
you
the
kidding
foils, yeah, exactly.
me?"
It's gotta be the dark ritual. But hey, I'd rather you open it than some rando who would never trade me. You
Absolutely. And centering is perfect on it. I didn't really examine the back of it, but the centering is perfect on it, so it's definitely gradable.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll figure out. I'll get your poster. I'll trade for your poster or something and trade. You know what I mean? Some shit.
yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not overvaluing it. Let's just say that. So,
I don't know. I'm
well,
I'm very
here's the
curious to see where these foils are gonna go.
Well, I'm also curious to see what we get at the event. Like when we walk in there, are they going to already have convention style boxes where there's no foils in it, so that like the chase of those is way more rare than we expected, and then out of nowhere you just watch them skyrocket? Or do we get there and it's like it was when I was in Minnesota, and it's just like everybody's firing off mystery booster drafts everywhere because they were so much fun to do because it is really fun to draft. But
Or is it gonna be like I heard, where only official events has the product, and that's the only way to get some?
yeah,
Like
exactly.
I am very curious myself
Yeah.
to see how it's gonna shake out. There's a lot of different ways. You're right. You're right.
So I'm literally planning, like I'm walking in there, and if I see that they're available and that you can just buy them like crazy, then I'm gonna have like a little bit of reservations towards it. But at the same time, like if it's solely by playing events you can get them, it's gonna make me want to play more, right? Like because then
Yeah,
I know
true.
that it might be the last straw of how you can get them because what you go on TCG Player for the festival and box right now it's like 450, $500 already. Like I'm not paying that, right? Especially for
Well, then it's also like, should you sell your festival in a box before the thing happens,
exactly,
because
or do you
boxes are
take
gonna be left and right.
Yep. Do you take the risk in holding it, and then this event happens, and then it's like, wait, they're just everywhere. You know, they're mass produced. So this is going to answer some questions about that. But I will say, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the Future Sight style cards, but because I was like, I always loved the original Future Sight, but I enjoy it.
Mhm.
I even actually enjoy the white border look. So I'm usually a naysayer towards those type of reprints, but I actually enjoyed them. So
Well, I think
they
that
got me.
it's I never liked how white borders look. I still don't like how white borders look.
Mhm.
However, I like white borders for reprints because I feel like that's how it was always supposed to be.
Yeah.
Or fine, future sight borders, whatever. That's all their borders as well.
Yeah.
I don't mind that too.
It's definitely better
But
than just
like,
putting the logo at the bottom of the card and being like, it's a reprint,
yeah, man, people are always gonna. It's so confusing.
Well,
It's even worse than Chronicles and like Legends.
Well, and I'm not trying to be tinfoil hat of anything, right? Because I truly don't believe that they're reprinting anything. But like the whole thing that happened with when Dominaria United came out, and they're like, "We found hidden boxes," right? And in the back of your mind, you're like, "How honest are you being?" Right? Because but then you think to yourself, like, "There's no possible way they would ever reprint these." But then you look at some of these. Prints that like to the naked eye, and if it didn't have the symbol on, you'd be like, oh, that portal card actually does kind of look like the OG version a little bit. So unless you
Mhm.
like really examine it and take it to the microscope, you could really fool some people. So that them changing it around by doing a white border and or a future sight style or something different like that does avoid that entirely, right? So there
Yeah,
is some
no, I
positives in
get
that
that.
notion.
I like it. I feel like I just feel like uh, reprints should be less desirable. You know what I mean? And the list cards of Ancient Tomb being worth more than freaking Tempest Ancient Tombs, just
Blows your
freaking,
mind.
it's like that just it bothers me too. It's like that isn't
Yeah.
how it should be. You know what I mean?
When it's reprints that are not scarce, right? Like obviously, like a box
Okay,
topper from Ultimate
fine.
Masters was hard to
Yeah,
get,
but
right?
scarce versus special and scarce. Again,
Sure.
like, is it just does it have a number on it, or is it like the Predators where it's special art, with the number on it? I guess that's what it comes down to.
That might be a chase actually. If they have an Elish Norn that's affordable, or I could trade up for in cereal, that
Those
might be a
have
target.
reached like a stable point in
Yeah,
pricing, so it's like if you're into that set, I think it's a good time to get into it.
he likes the white
You
border travel coffers. Yeah, Stefan, they do look good. They do. They're cool.
I look, I don't like hate it. I just don't like it as much as the original Black Border one. That's all, like
Absolutely,
that.
no, not at all.
But that's what it's supposed to be, like, and I'm happy with that. I'm good
I,
with that.
I, I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that my foil torment cabal coffers is like moderately played. It's beat up because I used to play it, right? And that was back when I had less care when I was young and like
Mhm.
so I kind of look at it like, man, the things I could have had or did, but at the same time, like looking back at that type of foiling, it's like this is never gonna be beaten. Never gonna be beaten. And I always want this.
Yeah, yeah,
I buy the
man.
gold borders much plus. Yeah.
The just the way that it comes off, like it reflects the light. It's so flashy. That old school foil,
Yeah.
the best, man.
But even when they
Like,
try to redo it, it just doesn't look the same.
no,
It's almost
no, they do the retro foiling nowadays. It really
yeah.
doesn't reflect it like it used to.
Yeah. Like here, just pulling out one. It's like it's just not. It just looks bleh and dull, right? This is Dom
Yeah,
Master.
yeah. I bet you that's a Japanese print too. They tend to be dull.
Yeah.
They tend to have great cards, excellent cuts and centering, but dull as hell foils.
But back
Yeah,
back to what
that's a
you
lot with
originally
the
said.
Ultimate Masters too.
Back to what you originally said about the Weatherlight box. I mean, it's always hard to get enough traction inside of a small period of time, though. Regardless, right? Like even like high level sellers struggle moving vintage when it comes on that level, right? To sell out that quickly. So
Yeah, maybe I won't worry about a box break beforehand and
even
just
though
trade the mofo and do something else.
I messaged Card Kingdom 2 or 3 days ago. I sent him like a support ticket, and I basically said like, "Hey, I'm curious. Um, are you guys going to, one, be in Vegas, which I assume they will be, but are you guys going to be in Vegas? Two, are you guys going to allow people that have given store credit to be used in Vegas if you have any like accrued or built up, right? And I had another, and I said, if you guys have any cards that are on your stock list right now, is it possible to request you bring them for purchase in Vegas and or to trade for? And it's been 3 days and I haven't gotten a response from them yet. So I'm curious. So because like I said, they have the 9th edition Fell War Stone and the Wrathy Dragon, and both versions are light play. And I'm still, those are the only I need to finish my 9th edition foil set. And I at least like to look at them, right? Because if for any reason they were, if it's like closer to near mint, I might settle because I'm not like the premium difference is so ridiculous. But if it's really light play, then I'm not going to do it, Right, Cosmic? Like, it's a good question because, especially a lot of those guys get a lot of trading, and then because when I traded, who did I trade with? It was like Stomping Grounds? Maybe it was Stomping Grounds. I don't remember. They basically said like, oh yeah, we're at every convention, so if you don't use your credit, we'll save you on a file, and then you can have it later. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm not taking a risk on that. Like, I'm giving you full authoritarian over my
But
stuff.
meanwhile, you've spoken to them at every convention, pretty much.
Yeah. So it could have been something that I accrued and then gone for something big, but in the
Yeah.
moment you start to worry. You're like, "Ah, what if I don't make it to another convention for a year or two or something, right? And then you're sitting there with the waste. But yeah, I definitely hope they respond to me soon so I can ask them that question because I really want to know. Because I don't know. Shoot, if I can request cards and have them bring them for me, I'll be so happy.
Fuck yeah, that's kind
I'm
of
not
like
peeing, guys. I'm not peeing. I'm getting water. Don't worry. If you're hearing running water,
he's like, see, look.
I have to validate that because the ASMR in the background's like, what's he doing picking up the phone and walking away right now?
I want to dump cards to them while they're here, especially for certain cards I don't want to ship to Card Kingdom. I like to just buy list low end cards and cards I don't care about. So that's what I want to do, right? I want to set up stacks, like the I don't give a fuck stack. The like I barely give a fuck stack. The like okay, these are starting to get like nicer and like more interesting and like this only if I must stack. You know what I mean?
Well, I liked your approach before where you were like, just divide it up into like X amount in your head that you expect for this, and then approach them with that. Don't go overboard. Don't bring a bunch of bulk, but just be like, hey, this is $300 in cards, and it's like 10 cards. You're like, hey, I'm looking for this card, and then try to make a deal that's quick and flip for them, and they'll quickly look at it opposed to, hey, look, there's 100 cards. Oh, this, and then they start nickel and diming you, like you said. Oh, this $5 card is now $1.50, and you're like, like, why would I give it to you?
Yeah, I'm not bringing $5 cards. I'm bringing more like $10 to $100 for trading.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I
maybe
think 10 minimum is good.
maybe even not many $10. More so upwards.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of where I'm at right now. But the least amount of cash I can spend, it will be nice, right? If I can do as much magic wise, is
Oh,
and that's the
totally.
whole.
I don't want to spend anything at all cash wise.
Yeah, right.
But we have to on merch is the problem.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another thing too is like, what are they going to have this year? Like what? Like we missed out. Well, you got it. I didn't get it because I waited. The Lord of the Rings stuff. Like that was cool this time.
The
Like
pins.
yeah, what unique thing is going to be there that might sell out quick? Like they had the skateboards, right? That was pretty cool. You know.
Yeah.
So it's always the same approach. It's like in the first 2-3 hours of it opening, we have to attack like 10 different areas, and then after that it becomes chill, and then you get to hang out. But if you don't do that, you're just going to be like, I missed out on the little things, right?
Chill what?
Yeah, then you have to film and do all extra stuff. He cut out again, guys. He'll be back, don't worry. He's always back.
I cut out. God damn it. I still hear you though.
I know. The reason why I kept talking is because I wanted us to sit there like this and just waiting.
But yeah, I gotta film and shit, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Well, that's the other thing too. So obviously everyone's kind of flying at different times, but like I think we always do this every single time, guys. When we open packs, we always try to say, "Oh, we're gonna open these packs," and then we like get so overwhelmed, and then we open them on Sunday, and by Sunday we're like, we're drained. Like our enthusiasm's almost gone, so we almost look like we're being spoiled when we're opening $100
We're
pack.
all
You
tired
know?
and shit.
Yeah.
We got like,
It's, so we hit something like Prime opening that Chrome Mox last year, which is pretty cool out of his pack, and
everybody's just like,
yeah,
yay.
we were just dead. Even though we were happy, it's just our emotional levels are just drained. So I think that Thursday, meet and greet with some of the people all coming in from all over, and then we open some fun packs.
I think more like Friday night.
Friday, bro, we got these.
Yeah, man.
Well, we'll see. But it
Oh,
depends on how cool
Friday.
depends on how cool the party is, though, right? Like that party is going to be very interesting.
Friday. See, this is ridiculous. The schedule is
Yep.
madness.
I mean,
I don't know, man. Maybe you know what? Wake up early on Friday and crack packs, and then
just do.
get in. Don't we get in
We
at noon, right?
could get up early Friday and then like start the day that way.
Yeah, but don't our passes? We're not allowed in before noon, right?
Are we?
On Friday.
I'm not sure.
I think that's like the VIP. They get that extra time, some shit like that. I don't know.
I did. Let's see. Show hours says 10 a.m.
So then they must get in at 8.
Yeah, I think it's like
They get a little extra time.
Yep.
All right. Well then, 8 to 10.
All right.
Let's open some packs.
This is all I keep thinking about right here.
Oh my God, your antiquities pack.
My GI Joe pack. We'll see.
Yeah, man.
It's
More than
coming.
anything, it's
It's
just
coming.
look. More than anything, even legit packs suck 95% of the times for antiquities. They're the
Absolutely.
worst. I've opened so many and I've gotten so much trash.
Well, I've never opened a Antiquities pack in my life. So regardless of what comes out of it, this is more of a bucket list to say I did it, right?
Yeah. That's why I started doing it originally with Arabian Nights. I'm like, hey, I remember I couldn't get these when I was a kid. I can get these now,
Right.
So that's what I started doing.
I've amassed some wealth and assets. I can do this.
Yeah. There he is.
What's up, Prime?
Freaking Prime is amongst the shelves.
Wait, is Brody still here? Is Brody still here? Brody, if you're here, respond. I was gonna say I gotta show Brody. Let's go back in time.
Yes.
Here we go.
I got one too. Yes, that's awesome.
The good show. I can't even talk soldier token. But yeah, obviously, we're all getting giddy and excited because it's literally next week. But it's just like there's a million things still to do. So much to do. And like I'm moving out of this house the week after I get back. The week after I get back.
Don't even talk to me about it. You'll stress me out.
Yeah. So like I look
I have
around and I'm
enough
like
stress with this renovation. Like I live in a construction zone right now.
You've had so much going on with that, yeah.
It's ridiculous. I am the troll in the basement.
Yeah, Stefan, you're right. Like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I could sell this, and I could easily buy anything that I want right now with it. But nah. Nah.
All you can hope for with antiquities is that the cards are extremely well centered and that the razor was sharp when they cut your sheet.
Right.
That's all you can hope
Absolutely.
for.
Yeah, we could easily open up some cards that are just like beat up without even meaning to beat up. But I mean, the good news is that I think I've told you this before, but I'll kind of tell the chat this. I got this pack off eBay, and I got a certificate from a old WotC employee showing that they would get these packs from their that was like their bonuses. Instead of getting money, they were given packs, right? So then inside of a vault that they showed a picture of the vault. He had a couple like old school packs, and he had antiquities, revised, one Arabian Nights, but it was already sold, he said. Or he had like 2 antiquities packs and like 3 revised and 1 Arabian Nights. But he had something else too, I'm forgetting. But basically, so that was what they were given as their like bonuses. and he just
That's
had
an
all
awesome bonus.
So maybe if I do get scammed, I'm like, this person put some effort in to get scammed. Like they put their time and effort in.
Yeah, I'm to bring and
Yeah, but see, with Portal Three Kingdoms, even if you don't hit a big card, you can still get a decent amount of like chunk value, right? Like,
yeah, no,
like,
of course.
like each common and uncommon, usually you can get like $3 to $10 if you're lucky, right? And
Yeah,
not all, but some, and then that kind of adds up. But like antiquities, you could open all your cards could be 10 cents.
yeah, but again, it all comes down to taking that risk with grading. If they're worth grading and you grade them and they're high grades, then your $1.25 antiquities cards becomes hundreds of dollars.
Very true.
And if you get really high freaking grades, it can become thousands of dollars. So especially with antiquities, where the older, the crazier that multiplier is. Like
Oh yeah.
with Portal 3 Kingdoms, it's not as crazy as antiquities.
So you ever think someone like Rudy, who's a whale with all these old school stuff, will ever do? I know you said you've talked to him. He said he doesn't want to ever do live streams, but like he'll ever do like box breaks in the future of his vintage on like massive levels. If he ever feels like clearing a small bit, because like what he opens up his doors, like he said, what he said, like the other video, he was like, I have 70 boxes of Urza's Legacy or whatever it was, or something. He said one of the
Cases.
cases, yeah.
Cases.
And he's like, I have the highest amount. And like in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, amazing. But like breaking one case, like, for a high premium, like obviously money doesn't matter to the guy, but it's still the factor of the experience that he could bring to the internet by doing that. And the amount of
A
people who would
case
actually,
fresh, like especially if grading boxes becomes a thing, breaking a case for case fresh boxes will become a whole thing.
dude, you're right, unfortunate collector. He does let open boosters take the hit. He's always filming his stuff and then posting it. But it's even funnier about that too. Is I'm a patron of his on Patreon. I take advantage of his deals, and it's good to see how the offers he puts out there. I don't buy that often anymore, but when I do, I got lucky. Like some people know, I jumped on the Lord of the Rings special edition when he had it for like 260, and obviously you guys have seen what that did. But when it comes to like open boosters, he posts his monthly break. The guy bought all of his LOTR break and spent $6,000 on it. I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah,
You're buying it at the high.
$6,000 sub case. He bought the whole thing all at once to be opened on Rudy's channel.
And in my mind, I'm like, they better be working a deal behind the scenes. Like these guys are buddies, right? They're always hanging out. There's no possible way Rudy was like, yo, give me 6K. And he was like, yeah, sure, cool. Like, no.
I mean, no, because Rudy is probably like somebody else would would
That-
want to do
that's
it.
that's
You know
fair.
what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Like I guarantee somebody would have bought that. It wouldn't have sat there. There's enough.
Yeah, that's
There's
what I'm
enough
saying. Like
FOMO right now.
he's got tons of patrons.
Mhm.
So, boosters definitely paid for that. Full price, man.
Crazy man. Not me.
Yeah.
Not my style. I'll tell you that.
I'd rather find deals elsewhere. I don't need them open.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what do you? I mean, obviously you get lucky in his cereals in the sense of like the chase is so like percentage wise is so low to hit, right? So the risk is there.
Yeah. So own boosters though has like unlimited money in Magic to gamble with, because back in the day, how he got all this shit, he got drunk in the mid oh sevens or something like that, right? When nobody
Hmm.
had money. He got drunk and he bought an alpha brick, a beta brick, unlimited box, Arabian Nights box, and like maybe one or two more unlimited or beta, you know what I mean, or Arabian Nights. So he got all these boxes for freaking cheap, just being like I was talking about. Oh, I want to open something that I never got to open, or
Hmm.
I want to. And so he went nuts and did that. And then he was early to grade, and so he got beta BGS 10 Lotus that he sold for $1 million. Like That's the sale that happened, and now he's got unlimited. I can open packs and do this with Magic money. You know what I mean? Because
He's the fortunate few, right? He's the fortunate few.
but
I
that's what
mean,
I'm saying.
everyone makes that joke. They're like, if I had a time machine, what I
Well,
would have
yeah,
done.
yeah.
But
And I mean the alpha brick that he has, how many millions is that worth? You know what I mean?
ridiculous.
Like, so it's yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he kind of fell into it, but he's got for him to open some freaking Lord of the Rings SE, it doesn't matter because you know
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
for sure, for sure. I mean, you've seen their setups when they film. Like they're clearly in nice areas, and when they go and travel, they don't stay in like Joe Schmo hotels. They stay in penthouses. So clearly, they're all doing pretty
Yeah,
well off of this
yeah, yeah,
game.
yeah.
They are the winners of the Ponzi scheme that is Magic the Gathering, right?
Yeah, right.
And I'm just a peon over here wasting my time, even though I'll never stop.
I got drunk and wound up peeing on my neighbor's porch, says Twiddler. Really, Twiddler.
I got drunk and bought a Nintendo on eBay one time. I mean, that's a good purchase.
Yeah, man. I don't blame you for that one. I've been buying some advanced games recently. Love the Game Boy Advance.
Games that you can
Got
play on the fly. What
yeah.
what are you like? You don't have any confettis besides the one you opened? Like you haven't gotten any other ones?
No, no, not yet.
I'm just looking to see if there's any I want to bring you. I don't have
Yeah,
that many
yeah, yeah. Let's trade.
because like I'm not as attached to them, and I know you want to actually do something with them. So like they're just gonna sit in my folder, right? So
Well, yeah, I'm gonna build the set.
absolutely. You open the Nature's Will, right? That's what you open,
Yeah, the worst one.
and that's the only one you have.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I'll bring you a repercussion and a parallel lives. How about that?
no doubt. Hell yeah, we'll trade.
Yeah.
I got plenty of things to look at. Plenty.
There you go, Stefan. Bring it back. Oh my God, my glare.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
If that thing was ever made legal in any format, it's $1,000 card right away.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm going tinfoil hat still, but like I just have this feeling in a year they're going to ban One Ring because it's taken over every format and everybody overuses it, and they can't do it yet because of the IP with Lord of the Rings. But you know,
It's
you've got this.
expensive, bro. It's expensive.
Yeah, but you have
That's
this
why
new.
they're gonna ban it.
Well, you have this new show that's well not new show, they just came out second season, but like they have another avenue of Lord of the Rings if the Amazon show stays popular too, right? Where they can continue to incorporate it too. They could run a second IP in the future, right?
True.
I mean, maybe that's like way in the future, but like it seems like Universes Beyond is going to be something, and I think they know right now after seeing the secondary market on Lord of the Rings Special Edition that they're going to do overprinting on Marvel and Final Fantasy, even maybe a little bit, because
I don't know. I don't know. I think that Marvel's gonna be like, I want our set to be as successful as Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? And then
well,
like,
Papa Disney over here is like, don't you ruin us. No,
yeah,
that's a weird thing. Like I mean, obviously, I get it, but like how Disney owns Marvel, but Marvel still has rights to be exclusive because Disney has their own trading card game, but they're not going to take Marvel and ruin it, right? Like by doing what they did with Lorcana. Nothing against Lorcana, nothing is fine, but like Magic obviously has a bigger base, so it's kind of confusing on why they didn't try to make that on their own and say like, oh, let's use Marvel as our staple point to come in strong and try to combat other markets, right? But they're giving it to Magic, so I don't know. It's just a little confusing. It's a little convoluted. That's it. I don't have much else to say on it, but you would think they would try to capitalize on it, right? Because how many characters there are inside of the Marvel universe, like they could do
oh
so
man,
much with it.
all I know is after Vegas and the little bit that I'm spending now, everything my next Magic spending, all of it is Marvel.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's a risk I'm willing to
that's gonna
take.
be stupid. Yeah, that's gonna be stupid.
Absolutely, a risk that I'm willing to take. No question.
Yeah, I have faith that that IP is stronger than Assassin's Creed and Doctor Who and what else? Final Fantasy
Yeah.
and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's Lord of the Rings and Fallout caliber.
Well, they tested it so well with Warhammer, like, and that
Mhm.
even gave them the incentive to like reprint them, but not the special ones, but like the regular ones in the commander boxes, right? Because they kept printing those out, so people, what was it? Not rainbow, whatever the surge was. A surge for that foiling, I think.
Search, yeah,
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 it was
yeah.
surge foiling for that. So like those became their own little unique chase too. But like that was their first look at saying, oh, okay, if people are liking these crossovers, they like it a lot. Let's take advantage of
Mhm.
it.
And especially if there's some rarity to it. Oh, look how popular it became. You know?
And then they abuse secret layers because of it. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Uh, I
All
did, but
right, I gotta head out, bro.
oh
It's
yeah,
time.
oh yeah. Time flies when we talk. You know that.
Exactly. All right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. Remember to like and subscribe, and also to Kylan at Kylan's Card Shack. We're
So
gonna be doing a lot of stuff coming up in Vegas.
my
All right,
dormant
guys.
channel that sometimes posts things.
You're gonna at Vegas. You'll be going live and whatnot.
There will be a antiquities pack that will be posted on my channel. That
Yeah.
that will happen.
See.
Yeah.
Exactly. No doubt, bro.
All right,
Peace
boys.
out.
Everyone, take care. Peace.
Later.